Turning now to politics, let's go ahead and talk celebrity endorsements. Who are Hollywood stars supporting in the 2016 presidential campaign and why? And honestly, how much difference does it ultimately make in influencing voters and raising all-important campaign cash? I'm joined in studio by journalist Itay. He's covering politics for The Wrap and has formerly worked at CBS News, and his reporting has also appeared in Salon, The Daily Beast, and Out Magazine. Thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so how engaged is Hollywood in this 2016 election?
Extremely. I think we tallied all the celebrity endorsements that we could find. We looked at who donated, any tweets that they may have sent, any articles that were written about them, specifically when it comes to their endorsements of the 2016 presidential election. And I can tell you we found probably close to 300 of them, which is a nice number. They're very engaged.
Now, when I think about celebrity endorsements, I think it's useful in raising money. But if you're talking about influencing votes, I know I don't stay up at night on the day before Election Day and say, you know, I'm going to wait to make up my mind until Flava Flav weighs in on the election. Does it actually influence the way people vote?
No, it doesn't. And it's interesting that you say that because I spoke to an expert. You know, we were looking after we tallied all these endorsements. We wanted to know how much do they really matter? That's the big question, right? Why do we care? And one of the things that he said to me was, no one's going to vote for Donald Trump because Gary Busey endorsed him. No, they don't move the needle when it comes to votes at all. What they do, which is what you said earlier, they do manage to make a difference when it comes to raising a lot of money for these candidates. This is money that is somewhat considered less tainted than, say, getting money from big banks, right? Because when you get money from a big fundraiser, a Hollywood fundraiser, it doesn't seem quite as uncomfortable for voters as, say, doing a fundraiser for big banks or the NRA, which has been very controversial lately. So these endorsements do matter a lot when it comes to raising money. They have raised a lot of money, particularly for Hillary Clinton, who leads those endorsements by a lot. But they also matter when it comes to keeping that presidential candidate in the headlines. So when you get an endorsement from someone like, say, George Clooney or Barbara Streisand, there's going to be a lot of headlines following that, and that sort of keeps that cool factor up.
And I would imagine play on social media, too.
Exactly.
You're getting people on Twitter talking about you, people on Facebook, all of that. Why is it that companies will spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on getting celebrities to endorse their products? Welch's grape juice goes to Regis Philbin. Different golf companies go to Tiger Woods. Nike goes to Michael Jordan. And that works. They can sell tennis shoes. They can sell grape juice. They can sell golf balls. But they can't sell political candidates.
Well, they do. They sell them in a way that's very sort of, it's not the same way as, say, you know, buying Nike, but it does absolutely sell the candidate in the sense that if you are someone, say, a millennial who doesn't necessarily feel all that connected to this 2016 presidential election, maybe you are, maybe you're not, it could, you know, get you a little more interested, leaning forward, if you will, just because you see all these big endorsements from these high-wattage celebrities.
If that's actually true, I want to raise the voting age to 25. I'll tell you one endorsement that I actually did think have an impact on the election. It was in 2008, and Oprah Winfrey famously came out and endorsed President Obama in that very heated Democratic primary. And I think that gave a lot of female voters the green light to go ahead and vote for Obama over Hillary, who, of course, would have been the first female president. Do you think that one actually had an impact on that Democratic primary?
No doubt. I think you nailed it in the sense that there were studies that were done, because we know that celebrity endorsements don't really do much. But when Oprah endorsed then Senator Barack Obama, it absolutely made a huge difference. I think they did a study that looked at how much it actually influenced. They calculated about 1 million votes.
Wow.
Which was a very big deal at the time. You know, that race was a very close race. And it also sort of became that tipping point where you saw a lot of other people, both political and celebrity, who were willing to jump over to Senator Barack Obama's camp at the time, and that was basically the beginning of the end for, if you want to say it, for Hillary Clinton. Absolutely, and it's even got its own name. It's called the Oprah Effect.
Right.
Yep.
Is there any celebrity that hasn't endorsed this cycle that could have that type of impact, where people are just waiting for Judge Judy to say, I want Trump?
You know, isn't that interesting? It's a great question. I absolutely think that other than Oprah, perhaps, and this is, again, I'm putting a big perhaps there, George Clooney.
But people know how he's going to come down.
Yes, he's already doing a huge fundraiser for Clinton. He's endorsed her. But again, one of the things that you can look at and say, look at George Clooney, is he has that power of not just raising a lot of money. When you have George Clooney throwing a fundraiser for you, that number jumps up exponentially. But he does have that gravitas, and one of the things that we did is we talked to a lot of people who fundraise for some of these candidates. And one of the things that they told us, it's not necessarily just the star quality of that person that's important, but also how thoughtful are they? How politically inclined are they? So there are several people in Hollywood who, when they endorse a political candidate, it carries a little more gravitas. George Clooney, Barbara Streisand, Angelina Jolie, she's very politically active. But no one, I think, carries that kind of weight like Oprah Winfrey, which is one of the reasons, by the way, she at the time sort of broke from her.
She was apolitical.
Yeah, she
never
said
these races
she said
before.
she was never gonna, she didn't have candidates on her couch. While the Oprah Winfrey show was going on, she specifically said she didn't want to intervene in that political process.
Advertisers like that.
The only time she did that was for Senator Barack Obama, because she felt so passionately about having that first African-American president, and we saw the result of that. But she hasn't done that since. She hasn't done it before. She's really the only one that can do that.
Now, one of the things that we've seen this cycle, too, is we've seen candidates use celebrities in different ways. Bernie Sanders has been endorsed by famous actress Susan Sarandon, who then went out and attacked Hillary Clinton when Hillary and her surrogates were out suggesting that women had some sort of, I guess, loyalty to her, and they had to vote for her. And she came out and said, no, that's not the case, and really got aggressive with her.
She did, and I have to tell you, she was both sort of praised by a lot of people who support Sanders, but she was also criticized for it, because one of the things that she said when she was asked was if it was the choice between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, which is, well, a very likely scenario, she wasn't sure whether she would vote for Hillary Clinton, which got a lot of people angry. And I have to tell you, that's one of the problems with these celebrities' endorsements, because we also looked at what are the negative aspects of that. And the negative part of it is you don't really control these sort of surrogates that you have, right? So if you have an endorser like, say, Killer Mike, who's a very popular rapper, then you may, have a problem later down the line when he says something along the lines of a uterus doesn't qualify you to be president of the United States, which had the Sanders campaign.
He had to go on The View and apologize for it.
Absolutely. So,
Talk to me, last question, about Donald Trump, who comes from the world of Hollywood. He was a star on The Apprentice. He's been in the tabloids for many years. And he's got an eclectic group of celebrities that have endorsed him. Everyone from Kirstie Alley, who just did it recently, to Dennis Rodman, who is on The Apprentice. Roseanne Barr, I don't know if she's formally endorsed him, but she's certainly given him a lot of love on Twitter. What do you make of that ragtag group of celebrities that have gotten behind Trump?
It's interesting because we looked at Trump, and, it's not a surprise that Hollywood is mostly, Democrats. If you held the primaries today in Hollywood, Hillary Clinton would win by a landslide. But we looked at Trump's list, and you're right, it's very kind of a weird, eclectic list of people that almost look like all of the Celebrity Apprentice dropouts and stars from a lot of reality shows. You have like Teresa Giudice, and you have Scott Baio. It's not exactly your A-list celebrity list by any stretch of the imagination, but it is definitely larger than any other Republican list we've seen, because of the fact that he's been, he's got those ties to Hollywood because of The Apprentice, because of the fact that he's a celebrity. But yes, nowhere near Hillary Clinton's or Bernie Sanders, but an interesting list nonetheless.
And I never thought I'd see Roseanne Barr say nice things about a Republican. 2016 is just one of those years.
Absolutely.
Itay, thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. For the latest on Itay, check out his reporting at TheWrap.com or follow him on Twitter at Itay Hod.